But I Googled it, she said. Oh well, we'll get on to that a little bit later in this video, because my main question to you is, do you think that having a coach or a mentor is expensive or too expensive or an unnecessary expense? That's my question. And then my next question would be, well, what are you going to lose? Like, what is the expense of actually going out of business? What is the expense of spending years and lots of money on trial and error, trying this thing? Yes, you could very well work things out by yourself and for yourself, because there's a lot of information out there, a lot of information on the internet. But how long is it going to take you to work through it? How long is it going to for you to find out what happens underneath the surface? Like, when we look at other people's marketing and the way that people approach their business, generally speaking, all we're seeing is what's on the tip of the iceberg. We're not seeing what's happening underneath the surface, and we can't understand that. How come we're doing things exactly the same or the same as Joe Blow or whatever, and we're not getting the same results? And the reason is because either Joe Blow isn't getting the results either, because once again, you can't assume just because you're copying some other person's or modelling your marketing on somebody else's business, you can't assume that they're actually successful. That's a big one, because 90% of people out there aren't. And so if you are just simply modelling and copying of other people, chances are that you could be actually copying a failing strategy. But also, like, if you do sort of find out, get onto somebody who is really successful, and you start to model what you see them doing, you think, well, like, I'm getting a little bit of success, but how come I'm not getting the success I need? And the reason is that there is more to it. There's more happening underneath the surface that you can't see. And other people say, look, there's so much information on the internet anyway, I can just go to Google and find it. And here's an interesting question. Well, here's an interesting thing that happened the other day when I was marking papers at the college where I teach. And one student got a very, very simple question wrong. And in fact, she was the only student in that particular class to get that answer wrong. And so I corrected the answer. And when I was speaking to her, I said, you got this wrong. It's actually this. And she says, oh, but I Googled it. I said, yeah, fine. But you've also, when you go to Google, you've got to be aware of the source. Like, is that source reliable? Does the source on Google that you're referring to actually know what they're talking about themselves? And this is a danger that, yes, there's a lot of information on YouTube and Google. Like, if information was all we needed to succeed in life, we'd be set. All we have to do is go onto Google and go onto YouTube and search, and all the answers would be there. The problem is, it's not that simple. The problem is that it's so simple for people to actually post stuff up on Google and YouTube that you've got to verify the source. You've got to make sure that they actually know what they're talking about. And to know that, you've actually got to have some grounding. You've got to have some basis. You've got to have a general idea of what's right. You have some foundational knowledge. And then from there, you can then look at something and say, yes, that looks real, or no, that looks like a bit of rubbish to me. So, just don't go thinking, oh yeah, I can just jump on Google or YouTube, watch a video or read an article, and I'm going to get all the answers, because they could actually be putting you down a totally wrong track. So my question once again is, having a mentor or a coach too expensive? Well, when I was studying marketing, I went out and I sought out some of the leaders in marketing, and I put my hand in my pocket and I spent thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars learning from the experts, and that got me in direct contact with them. I was talking to them either on Skype or talking to them via internet and email, and I got to learn what was happening underneath the surface. And I also, then when I was practicing, I could show them what I was doing, and they would then give me feedback. That's the way I learned how to write copy. That's how I learned how to produce videos. At the moment, I've got a great mentor in Kevin Anson, who is an amazing video producer and editor. Got a great course, and he has taken my video production once again to the next level. Now I'm creating commercial quality videos for not only my business, but I'm looking at doing that for other businesses. But I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like, yeah, maybe down the track, but I've been producing videos for years. I've produced hundreds of videos, but I just was falling short. My videos were good, but they weren't great. And to get to that next step, I needed help. Okay, so this is why you need a mentor or a coach. It gets you to the next step, and it saves you a lot of time, and it saves you a lot of money. So is having a coach too expensive? Once again, I'm saying, how expensive is your time? How much money are you willing to lose in trial and error? I'd say that getting a coach or getting a mentor is the best way to fast track your success, the best way to increase your revenue, the best way to build a successful business or to become good at what you want to be. That's my little thought for you for the day. Okay, now if you like this, please like, share and comment below. If you feel that somebody else could benefit from this advice, just tag them in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, could you please hit that subscribe button and that little bell, and you'll get a notification each time I post something new. Now, if you've got any questions at all, please feel free to contact me at tim@wellnessbusinessbreakthrough.com. That's tim@wellnessbusinessbreakthrough.com, and I'll get your question answered as quickly as possible, and it could even be a video like this. Okay, until next time, you take care.